Welcome to the Toronto on Tilt podcast. Well, this is the Blue Jays offseason version. I'm Steve Artabello with Anthony Harris, Theo Giordano. You can find us at our website, torontoontilt.com. You can find us on Twitter at Toronto on Tilt. You can find us on YouTube where this video will be posted, Toronto on Tilt. And of course, everywhere that you listen to podcasts, anywhere that you get podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Bleaker, all of the things. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends that the Blue Jays are doing things, big things. The extension of Jose Berrios is basically what we felt we needed to talk about when we were going to record this podcast. 7-year extension, $131 million, because it's basically 1 year, $11 million would have, well, 10.9 was his estimated arbitration salary for this season. So he's getting this first year is $11 million, and then it's 6 years, 120, where it's $20 million a season. So he signed until he'll turn 34 during the final year of the contract. There's an opt-out in year 5, but here's the thing: if he actually opts out and thinks he's going to get more money than that at 31 or 32, it means he's been really, really good, and a 5-year extension is.
And that's the important thing. A lot of these guys who go to free agency are around that age, because I thought he was like 30 when I was like, I didn't even do research on how old he was. I thought he's 27 years old, and you're gonna have him the next 7 years.
Exactly.
It's like the perfect thing.
It's like that's what I thought. It was like I thought he'd get more, and I didn't think it would be this quick. As far as the timing of it, I was very surprised today.
It went under the radar. As I think our most important move was to extend him this offseason, because it gives them so much certainty on what their rotation is going to be and what they need to do around that.
Well, two things. Next year, he would have been one of the top, maybe the top free agent pitching option as a 28-year-old. That's how old he would have been at the end of that season, at the end of at this time next season. So, like Tony said, to get him this early, this cheap, because we were talking about this before the podcast, that $20 million a season for a pitcher of his quality, that's below market value in free agency. So to get him on that extension, to not have to pay him until he's 36, 37, 38 years, to get someone who's 27, like Theo said, who's younger, who's the reason you might think he's older is because he's just been in the big league since he was a young, pitching consistently good, right? It's a great piece of business. And like Theo was also mentioning, that's a long-term pitching piece locked down in the rotation now. For this year and 6 more after it, you have Jose Berrios, right? You have Hyunjin Ryu this year and next year. Hopefully you have Manoah. Now you're starting to look down and you're like, okay, now we have guys, right? Whereas we were talking about this even in season, it was like, man, past Ryu, there's no one here next year. And then Manoah comes up, and Pearson struggled, but looked good at the end of the season. But Manoah came up and was unreal, and now you have Berrios.
And yeah, you were talking about him being the highest paid next year, and thinking of it he is one of the most durable guys too. If he had the same kind of season this year, where he pitched all the starts and pitched well, we're talking about Robbie Ray here, who it was a huge bounce back this year, and obviously has all the stuff and is going to probably be great in this next situation. But just Berrios has proven way more the last few years as far as consistency. That's going to go for a lot of free agency. And the fact that he didn't wait is maybe he just want to get a deal done. Good for him, but I think he could have got a lot more if he waited next year. I'm glad he signed now.
He's also 3-4 years younger than Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he hasn't reached that peak, of Robbie Ray. Could it happen? Maybe. I wouldn't really expect it. But that's we're paying for what he's done before. Just being a guy who goes out there every start, who's never been on the injured list, goes out there, throws 6 innings every time. Everyone would kill for that.
It's, again, consistency with this offense.
Where would you compare it? Because I think he's going to get a similar deal what Stroman's going to get. What do you think?
He's going to get more.
Yeah, I would think that too, but this is a much better. I'm not trying to be biased, but I think I'm much happier with a Berrios than a Stroman right now.
Well, I think Stroman's going to get a higher average, but shorter term.
but I still think he gets like 5-6 years.
Yeah, that's still a lot. It won't be like a
right. Like it's not going to be. It's not going to be like substantially shorter term. It's going to be like 1 or 2 less years. So maybe total value is the same, but exactly, I think Stroman's going to get. Maybe that's how he gets to that 25 million per. Right. Like maybe that's how he gets to it is because the deal is shorter.
Yeah,
could be. But like this is like we were talking earlier. It brings up the potential of you can do shorter term things like Justin Verlander would be super fucking cool. You still have the ability to go out there and spend. And now that you have this certainty, it shouldn't change any of the other free agent plans. It shouldn't change Robbie Ray. It shouldn't change Marcus Semien. It shouldn't change any of the other guys because apparently they're still talking to Gossman even. Like they're talking to everybody still.
No, this was an expectation that we would get a deal done. And the fact he's only making $11 million this year, like that adds a lot of options as far as short
for this current season.
Contracts. Yeah,
exactly.
The one thing though, looking at what their future contracts are going to have to be, 2023 is going to be kind of weird with how they structure their next deals they make with these players because I think Ryu's still in the books. Berrios' contract's going to kick in. Springer, all that. They're going to have real money on the books at that point, and it'll be interesting to see how they structure. And obviously they'll be able to figure that out. But
that'll be like, but Ryu will. That'll be the last year. And again, if he's bad, if something happens, like there might even be a buyout. Like you know what I mean? How there's sometimes buyouts between $3 and $5 million to get out of a $20 million. There's those things in these contracts. A lot of times you just never know until it actually happens. I think those are usually on options. So he's probably making $20 million guaranteed. But they've bought out. They had bought out more years of Tulo, and they paid for a lot of Russell Martin when they got rid of him. So here's the thing. Hopefully he's fine. So hopefully we don't have to worry about that. And that's, again, 1 year where you might have an issue into the tax, but they've said that they're willing to pay the tax. And then once that 20 million comes off, who knows how anyone else's deal is structured, right? Hopefully, I've been talking about this for a while. I want to see a Teoscar extension. So.
Yeah. Don't we all?
Right? He's been great.
Yeah,
I still want to see Jose Ramirez trade. I'm still super happy about this.
But we got to think about an offseason, though, where that trade doesn't happen. Like, what are the plans? Like, we're all hinging on this massive
Matt Chapman.
Matt Chapman. And if worst case, it'll be Kyle Seager, and we'll be pissed
off.
No,
wait. If you're talking to the Marlins about their young pitching, Brian Anderson.
He's all right. I'm not excited about Brian Anderson.
No, but I'd take a Gold Glove nominee at third base who hits for a high average, gets on base. Like, yeah, he doesn't hit a ton of home runs, but he doesn't strike out a ton. And he gets on base and hits near 300, which is, kind of nice. And his power numbers where he hits around 20 home runs might just go up to get him the hell out of that ballpark.
He's Santiago Espinal with some power.
Well, I would also not mind if, that would mean he would probably be worked in because Brian Anderson's also really good in right field. So you could move him. You could do different things. He's a useful player in a couple positions. Does nice things. He just doesn't hit left-handed because if he did, he'd be perfect.
He wouldn't be on the trade market. That's for sure.
I don't think he really is. I'm just bringing him up because if it's not Matt Chapman, Jose Ramirez, Matt Chapman, maybe Brian Anderson, because those are the guys that they'd also be talking. Those teams are also ones that they'd be talking pitching to and have said that they're selling. Well, the Marlins have said that they're moving. Well, apparently the reports are that they're willing to move young pitching. So,
yeah,
there are a lot of options.
Yeah.
Come on, Sandy Alcantara.
Did we talk about Syndergaard at all? I don't remember if we talked about it.
I think we talked a bit about it because I was interested in it. I think we were all interested in it as a clean sweep. We all were more interested in it than the Stroman thing. Just because, again, if his front office wanted to pay him, they would have done it, not traded him.
See, that's why I think we were just on the value. I don't think any of us thought he would turn down the qualifying offer.
We kind of thought he would take it unless he was going to get a 2-year deal, and he got a 1-year deal, and it was more than a qualifying offer, but not by a lot. Not only 1 year, $21 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, there's a
lot
with
a pick attached.
There's a lot to this, yeah,
and a second-round pick because he was qualified. It's no longer a first-round pick, but it's still a second-round pick, and you paid $21 million for Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah, there was. I think I saw someone say he had multiple offers like that. around the league, like better.
We
than
made an offer.
Someone
similar to
apparently
that.
made a $25 million offer that he turned down.
Yeah, I don't. That's
I
that's bizarre. I thought no one would give him anything.
Was it
close.
confirmed that we made an offer? I thought I saw that.
It wouldn't surprise me if they would. I would hope that they made an offer. You know what I mean? Like, I would hope you would make an offer on Thor. The ability for a potential bounce back with him is massive. So,
yeah, I had my worries about it, but for the Angels, we know the Angels are
They're
all
desperate.
in. They are all the way in with based on their players. You got Rendon, Trout, Ohtani. Like, you're not messing around. You're trying to win right now, and if it works out, that's a great deal. But then the report I hear from the Angels is that they only want short-term pitchers, not long-term ones. So does that take them out of the Robbie race? Like, why are you out?
They are going to take a lottery ticket every year. They're just going to take a bunch of lottery tickets and hope they hit on them because they can't find successful pitching and they don't want to be locked into something, I guess. They're worried if they sign a Ray, it just turns into a dud. And that's with them. I feel like if Syndergaard goes anywhere else, I feel better about his prospects of being good this year. Him going to the Angels just is such a
their luck with pitching is not great.
He's going to struggle.
No,
yeah.
Like if he was the
exactly.
Dodgers, I would think he's going to be an ace. He's going to be amazing.
If he went to the Dodgers, you'd be like, well, he's just going to probably win the Cy Young. He's going to pitch 200 innings. He's going to finally achieve all of his potential.
Yeah.
Or the Giants. Like, tell me if the Giants did it, you wouldn't be like, well, look what they did with Kevin Gausman. You think they're not going to do that with Noah Syndergaard? But when he goes to the Angels, you're like, well,
Mike Trout's pumped about it, so that's all. That's all that matters, I guess.
Well, I mean, that offense could be like when you start to go through with the Angels.
We say it every year.
Exactly. Because the problem is if healthy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rendon 2 years ago, Rendon was amazing. So it's not that far off.
Well, and Ohtani might
MVP.
Exactly, right? Like you have got look what Walsh did. You've got Marsh now in the lineup. Adele's up. Fletcher is just consistently great. Doesn't hit for power, but that's a great leadoff man. Like they have a bunch of dudes now.
Max Stassi
was unreal, and they're talking about shortstops. Apparently they're going after Trevor Story.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's all they spend on. They only spend long-term contracts on bats.
It's hilarious. But anyways, I guess back to the Jays.
And the Angels talk.
Yeah. The Berrios thing is huge. Like it sets up the rest of the offseason very interestingly. Like there's a lot of things that can happen, and there's a lot of certainty now with the pitching staff. I can't wait to see what's next. I'm getting excited.
I hope this isn't one of those a few moves in 2 days and then 2 months of nothing, because that would just suck. That felt like 2018 offseason.
That might happen December.
That might happen anyways. Exactly, just based on the labor agreement.
I was hoping all these moves were going to come in right before this labor stuff came into the news, but there might be a few guys and then a lot of people waiting.
You got a few weeks.
Yeah. Well, Eduardo Rodriguez is gone. If we were going to talk about Syndergaard and another potential Blue Jays target, that was a guy that you could steal him away from a division rival. He's only 28 years old. His peripheral numbers are great, but on the downside, there is a lot of injury history there, including myocarditis, which is the heart swelling condition that you get after COVID. There's also the fact that he has no cartilage left in his knee. That's why he keeps injuring the one knee over and over again. No, exactly. His heart swole. He missed the season.
Talking about the Red Sox, so do you think that Matz is going to be their replacement? Because I feel like that's going to be the guy they really go in on.
I hope not. That would suck. Unless he reverted back to Matz, and then I would be completely fine with that if the Red Sox wouldn't give him all the money and then he sucked. That'd be great.
I think they'll be in all the short-term guys like everyone else is, like the Verlander, Matz, all those types.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's Boston, so they could, but they haven't really shown a willingness to really they didn't want to pay Mookie Betts. There's just a lot of things that they don't seem to want to do, and they're already paying Chris Sale for a while and Nate Eovaldi. It just makes you wonder if they want to go super long term with anything.
Yeah, because they could have. if they could have matched that Rodriguez deal, you'd think they would have, right?
You think they could have easily, right? Because they're the.
I don't see why they wouldn't want to keep him. So
Yeah.
they don't have other options.
Yeah, you don't think they could have got 5 years, 80, 77? Like you just, it's. I don't know. It's interesting. Then again, maybe they have his medicals and they're just like, no, because again, that's another thing that's wrong with him. He gets hurt a good amount. Like I said, I don't think he has cartilage left. I remember one of my friends has him in this really nerdy fantasy, like spreadsheet dynasty, insane Stratomatic thing that we do. And he kept injuring his knee, and I'm pretty sure he was the one telling me that, like, yeah, he doesn't have cartilage left in that knee or some stupid shit. Like it's kind of hilarious. So maybe the Red Sox know something we don't. But it could be a great contract just on the base that he's getting out of the AL East. He's going to the AL Central, which is terrible, and he's going from a park that notoriously is bad from lefties to just a great pitcher's park in Comerica. So there's a good chance that if he does stay healthy, we were talking about this before the podcast, that might be one of the signings of the offseason.
Could be. The Tigers, I'm interested in seeing what they do the rest of this offseason. You know, Carlos Correa, everyone is saying he's.
I hope that happens.
There.
I read some stuff today where it was like dark horse Semien to the Tigers, which
get out of here.
I'm just throwing out all the negativity.
Why would they even do that though?
Because they would take him as the veteran to bring along the kids, and I would be very upset with like Riley Green and oh God, what's his name? He's playing third base in the system. He went first overall. Spencer Torkelson. Like
they already have Miggy for
he's playing third base.
Oh,
Miggy's the veteran.
Yes, but
why
one that
another
plays then is good. I love Miggy. He's a legend, but he's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, the clubhouse value, you can't put a price on it.
That's
the Henry Morales era. It was a great contract, if you ask our front office.
That was so bad. That was such a bad offseason.
Everyone loved him.
That was like the worst offseason ever. I remember looking at it too, and I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. Like you're getting pretty much close to the same on base, like 20 points less, but like a way higher average, close to the same power, blah 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 blah. Nope, he was bad. He was really bad.
No, we know.
Objectively.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Don't get us started.
Yeah, that was frustrating. I don't know. Is there anything else you boys want to get to for this? Because it's just a quick update. There's hopefully more offseason news to come.
we should probably let people know we're going to be doing more live stuff. When stuff breaks, we'll be able to do it closer to the time, as long as we're not, working or busy with stuff. But with Twitch, we want people to start watching on there. Toronto and Tilt on Twitch. On YouTube, obviously, we're going to try to do more game streams, a lot more stuff happening, because we're going to be off this Skype thing, which is harder to make visually pleasing, and using StreamYard. So it'll be easier to do these live things.
Yeah, so that's another thing. We're hoping to do some more content and hopefully a cleaner and better quality medium coming soon. But again, that for you guys, if you want to watch it on YouTube, you want to listen to it on various streaming platforms. We're just adding Twitch. There's just a whole bunch of different ways so you can consume it however you want. We're making it easier for you at better quality.
And
that's right.
It's free.
Exactly.
Too. We could charge, but we're not.
For this premium content.
We really should charge.
Watch
of me screaming that Charlie Montoyo needs to be fired.
And Anthony Harris will be the show streams.
Never bud.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. We're on Twitch. We might have to do this. We might have to fire up the show, get into a deep franchise mode, because that'll happen every once in a while. Actually, that happens every year. I get a franchise mode and just like, usually it's like some atrocious team. Like it'll be the Tigers. Well, a couple of years ago, I did it with the Tigers because all they had was like Riley Green in the system and the 3 pitchers. So I did a complete. Anyways, nobody cares about the show franchises. Maybe when we're on Twitch, that's different. Maybe we'll have a whole different segment of me and Tony playing the show at different times.
Yeah.
And the last time I played Tony in the show, I would actually talk shit, except for the fact that he whooped my ass. So like
I wrecked you big time.
Yeah, we just completely stopped playing, and I was like, I'm gonna fuck with him. I'm definitely gonna get the knuckleball and make sure like he's not gonna hit it because it's so hard to hit a knuckleball. Yeah, yeah, it's hard for me to hit an out ball.
That was a good day for me.
It was terrible.
I was in the zone.
I was immediately out on that. Immediately. But yeah, so that's happening. But I guess that's it for another off-season edition. Yeah, we might have more content. We might finally do the Toronto Until It's extended version. We scream about other things. Like
Go Canada soccer.
Oh, Canada soccer is like the one thing I think we'd be positive about. There's a game tonight. Very excited about that. Can't fucking wait. Although it's in Edmonton. So I guess Edmonton until against Mexico in the snow.
Yeah, they'll cover it over
weather.
There in Edmonton.
It's so ridiculous. Yes, exactly. We're branching out. We have a Western branch of the podcast. Oh, man. Also, my buddy Dean lives out in Saskatchewan. Shout out, Diener. You can go to Edmonton on assignment. Oh, man. But anyways, I guess that wraps this up. Eventually, you can find us on Twitch. But right now, you can find us at our website. We're Toronto Untilt. I'm Steve Artabello, Anthony Harris, Theo Giordano. You can also find us on Twitter at Toronto Untilt. You can find us on YouTube where the visuals will be posted. As always, Toronto Untilt. And then, of course, you can find us anywhere that you listen to your podcast. That's Apple, that's Spotify, that's Google Podcasts, Anchor, Breaker, Bleaker, all of the things. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Go Canada, because if they beat Mexico tonight, that's huge. Fuck yeah. The Jays just signed Berrios to this extension. Hopefully more things are coming. And I guess at some point I'll scream about how the Leafs hurt my soul and how much I just trust Masai Ujiri. But that's for another time.